Welcome to my channel. My name's Jess, and I'm a life coach who specializes in two things: productivity as well as self-fulfillment. Now, those two things might seem kind of a strange combo right off the bat or even unrelated, but I assure you that that is not the case. And my goal for today is to define and let you know what I'm referring to when I talk about productivity as well as self-fulfillment, and then the relationship between those things, because in my opinion, the two are very strongly tied when we're talking about increasing those two things. Increasing productivity leads to increased self-fulfillment. So we're gonna really dig into why that is and why you need to have both in mind to maximize your results. Now, quick reminder, one of the cool perks with a channel like this is the community that comes with it. So I strongly encourage you all to comment down below, what does self-fulfillment mean to you? What does that look like? What about productivity? And then you can comment and support, like each other's comments as well, just to let each other know that you're not alone. And when we're going through these hard times in life, it's always nice to see that someone else relates to what we're going through, that you're not the only person that feels that way. And you might even find someone out there who sees things just like you do. So please do that. Strongly support it. It just brings me all the joy in the world to see people connecting in that way. So go for it. Additionally, if you feel like liking, subscribing, hitting the little notification bell, that helps me out, lets me know that you would like to see more of me and the content that I have to share. So do that as well. Sorry, I promise not to be weird the whole time. Not really. So let's get started. I'm going to be first reading you the definitions that I found and liked for productivity and self-fulfillment, and then I'm going to give you kind of my little tweak so that we can get on the same page here. So starting with productivity is the ability of an individual, team, or organization to work efficiently within that time in order to maximize the output. So the things that I liked about this is, for one, this word efficiently, which is something that I will be striving to increase as well and giving you tips and tricks for. But not everyone is ready to up the stakes in those terms. Some people, we're gonna start from the ground up in that, if you can just do a task, that's a win, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be done the best of its ability. If you can just motivate yourself to go and do something productive that makes you happy, then that's a win. So my little tweak that I would add to this definition would be engaging in tasks of value. So this is what I mean of this value aspect, because a lot of times when we think of productivity, we think of work and oftentimes our careers, and then having this tangible product at the end that we can see and measure and show to the world of, look what I did today. It's so obvious. But that's not always the case. You don't always get finished in one go. So, for example, I would consider something like meditation to be a productive activity. It is something of value because taking the time to meditate might change your whole day and then allow you to be more efficient that day, deal with your emotions better that day, have a better idea of what you need to accomplish. And at the end of meditation, you can't really say, look at this product that I have now. It's gonna be something that you might see the results of over time. It's not gonna be obvious. And what has value is gonna be different from person to person. So at that point, it's kind of up to you to decide for yourself, what is valuable to me? So that's my little tweak on productivity. Our second half of the duo here is self-fulfillment. Self-fulfillment is the ability to make yourself happy and complete through your own efforts. Additionally, the realizing of one's deepest desires and capacities. So this isn't necessarily a tweak so much as pulling from a couple different sources, being philosophy, being psychology, a couple different applications as you look for defining self-fulfillment. And these are the two that I liked. One key element of this, of course, is the self, that it's you. You are the one responsible for that happiness and completion. It's not coming from an external source, it's coming from right in here. So that is a huge element, taking responsibility for it. The other key element that I pulled in with the second definition is that it's referring to your deepest desires. And that's not to say that anything less than your deepest desire is invaluable, but I think it's important to note that this again is gonna be, beauty's in the eye of the beholder here, and that you're gonna have to pick what is gonna be fulfilling to you. It's gonna be different than what's fulfilling to me, than what's fulfilling to your neighbor or your coworker. It's gonna look different for everyone. So getting your head on straight about what that looks like to you is gonna be very much key. So now that we've kind of defined both, we're gonna look at the relationship between these two things. So in my opinion, productivity and self-fulfillment are very closely tied together. It's almost a cause and effect here. Productivity is basically the road, the actions that are gonna get you to self-fulfillment. So you're never gonna feel fulfilled if you're not really ever accomplishing anything, not taking steps towards that. It doesn't just happen miraculously out of the blue. However, there's gotta be a little bit of reverse engineering that happens with this as well. If you don't know what your end goal is, in the most basic sense of what matters to you, what's fulfilling, you're not gonna be able to make the roadmap to get you there. Throwing it back to the definition of engaging in tasks of value, you can be doing any number of things throughout your day, activities, accomplishments, whatever that may be. But if they're not in line with your desires, what you want out of life, your ideal self, then it's still gonna leave you feeling kind of empty and unfulfilled. So both of these are gonna be a balancing act and very much interrelated and flexible, changeable. This is gonna evolve with you over time. So for example, maybe when you start your journey, the first thing that you're thinking of is, say, a relationship. You wanna be in a relationship and that's gonna bring you fulfillment, someone to share your life with, our guest. However, maybe in your pursuit of that, you find that you're really more in a place to be doing some internal work, that you need to focus back on you before you can achieve that second part. Or maybe you try it. Maybe you did get in a relationship and you're still feeling unfulfilled. Well, back to the drawing board. What's really at the core? We'll talk about that more later. So, to quickly summarize, productivity, my tweak, engaging in tasks of value, self-fulfillment, the ability to make yourself happy and complete through your own efforts, as well as realizing your deepest desires and capacities. The relationship between them, chicken or the egg here, which one comes first? Don't know, they go together. We have our steps, our actions being productivity, and we have self-fulfillment being both our goal and our roadmap. So, mix and match, they do in fact go together. Any questions or clarification that you want, just leave me a comment down below. I would love to see them. I'd love to answer those for you. As well as, like I said from the beginning, if you have your own idea about what it looks to be productive or what your idea of self-fulfillment is, where you get it from, please comment below. Support each other, validate each other, give each other some likes and feedback as well. I'm not the end-all be-all source of information regarding these subjects. If you did like the content, please give me a thumbs up, as well as subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of content. Turn that little notification bell on, and that just helps me out a ton and lets me know what direction to guide this ship in. Once you've done that, then have a wonderful day and come back so we can go on this journey together.